How do you perceive the word soulmate? What does it mean to you?
A whole person that aligns with you, kind of like 100% and 100%, 200%, rather than like two halves make a whole.
Basically like the same as like a best friend forever, but I think it's commonly more used in a more like a romantic relationship.
Just like a person or people you have a really strong connection with. Whether I think that that is someone you're bound to or fated by, I'm not sure. But I do believe people come into your life for a reason, because they're there to teach you things usually.
Almost like a spiritual thing or a thing that happens by chance. You know, it's kind of just like, one day you'll meet your soulmate, don't worry, it'll happen. And it's something that is going to happen. But I feel like as you grow up, you kind of realize maybe that's not so true.
Do you believe in soulmates?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't fully know exactly how I feel about it.
I would say I don't believe in the concept of soulmates.
Do you think you found your soulmate?
I think so.
Do you think you found your soulmate in your life, or
No.
no? Do you think you've met your soulmate?
I think I've met people in my life who could be soulmates.
Is there a special person in your life who like is very close to your heart, who you care about a lot?
Yes.
What would you compare soulmates to, aside from like all the friendship, like relationship stuff, maybe like an emotion or feeling or experience?
Well, the first one that comes up is like peanut butter, I guess. Peanut butter could exist like as a whole thing. Like you can just have peanut butter with things and that's really yummy. Or you can pair it with other things like jam, or for me I really like peanut butter with bananas.
That moment where like, it's just that pure joy of being like, everything lined up perfectly and you did everything right and it was effortless and you made it look effortless. Maybe that's what I would compare it to.
Maybe having a child. It's just whatever this person's gonna be. To me, a soulmate is something that's permanent.
What would you describe love as?
If I had to describe love separate from the different types, I think I would say commitment, and I would say loyalty. I would say empathy, like really basic things. I think to truly be in love with someone, you would have to, you'd have to be there for them.
There's a concept that there's only one soulmate per person. Do you believe in that concept, or if not, why?
It's just a matter of fate and how life leads you, I guess. No, I think there's definitely more than one soulmate for each person in the world.
That's just like kind of what they say about them is like everyone has one, you're just gonna meet them at different times in your life. So, or maybe some people won't ever meet them, I don't know.
Or like, not that it doesn't have depth and meaning, not the word doesn't have depth and meaning, but that like the concept of it as a whole, like if you don't have one, that's okay. And if you do, then that's also okay. And if you have more than one, then that's also okay. I think it's pretty like each one is weighted equally in my perception. So it's not that someone who has a soulmate is like that means more than not having one. I think not having one is also just as important and like just as weighted and means just as much. Yeah, I also think like the relationship you have with yourself is also a really important one. And even though like I think you could be your own soulmate, you could not be, but I think the process of getting to know yourself throughout that as well is pretty important. So I think they're all like weighted equally. So I don't view not having one as being lesser, I guess.
How old were you when your parents got divorced?
Okay. Let me think back here. I was in grade 6 when they told me they were separating, so I was 12. but then the divorce wasn't official until I was in grade 8, so around 14.
Did the divorce change your perception of love and relationships?
Yes. Yeah, no, if you had asked me if I believed in soulmates back when I was 11, I probably would have said yes, definitely, of course, there's soulmates. But you know, seeing my parents get divorced, and seeing, you know, basically my whole life change really quite quickly and rapidly. I think I definitely grew up really quickly in those few years. And one of the ways that I grew up was kind of being like, okay, well, this can happen to anyone because it happened to my parents. So it's not something that, you know, is easy to deal with. And yeah.
There's a notebook next to you and a couple of markers. Could you please grab that? I would ask you to illustrate what it feels like to be around your soulmate. Feel free to use as many colors as you want to. If you want to use just one color, it's all good.
I feel like it feels like a big ball of light that is kind of energy that is full of just brightness and fun and happiness. Something that's just excitement, and just I think being around them definitely makes me more joyful and more happy. But I don't know, being around it, it's just it feels youthful.
Right, there's some world building going on, okay? This is like an endless tunnel, right? These two people are the soulmates. This tunnel is cut into segments, shaded. I'm not sure why they're cut into segments. In my head, they just are. And they find themselves in this endless tunnel. They have the whole tunnel to explore together, just the two of them.
I see it as something that's centered, and I think while things and feelings and life as a whole kind of bounces, I guess, around it, which is, I guess, why you see these, because it feels like something that's solid, but also something that has changing qualities, I guess, which is why there's different colors and such, and it goes out, but everything kind of comes back to a center place, which is why I think this is how it feels, and I think this is how I perceive it.
I call it, I don't know, warm hug. I chose blue because, like I said, that's Brody's favorite color. And this is my heart. And then he's hugging it because that's how I feel when I'm around him. All the good things that come with being just an everlasting hug, you know? Just the warmest, nicest, most comforting thing, so.